Landon Collins, gone. Mario Edwards, gone. Odell Beckham Jr., gone. Eli Manning, kept. Wait, what?
Yes, the New York Giants offseason has been a complete and utter disaster. They have been and continue to trend in a negative direction. Everyone has been bagging on the Giants this year. But why doesn't anyone ever talk about the rise and how they won 2 Super Bowls?
It all started on April 24th, 2004, where the San Diego Chargers took Eli Manning with the first overall pick. Now, Manning had already said before the draft that he didn't want to play for San Diego. He never said a reason why, but most people speculate that he didn't want to play for an awful team like his dad Archie, and he wanted to play in a big market. What better place than the nation's biggest city, New York? And so it began. The New York Giants traded Philip Rivers, a 2004 third round pick, a 2005 first rounder, and a 2005 fifth rounder for Eli Manning.
But we know a team can't win with just one player. So what happened?
In 2004, the Giants opened the season with Kurt Warner under center. Paired with Jeremy Shockey, Tiki Barber, and Amani Toomer, they could have been a formidable team. And they were for the first part of the season, starting off 5-2. But with injuries to star defensive end Michael Strahan and a couple of bad losses, coach Tom Coughlin opted to let Eli Manning try and win. It didn't go well, as Manning and the Giants lost the first 6 games Eli started. But we can scrap that season. Let's move on to 2005. 2005 had some big upgrades for the Giants. Through the draft, they acquired huge pieces to their team with Justin Tuck and Brandon Jacobs. They also acquired big-name wide receiver Plaxico Burress. With Strahan and a developing Osi Umenyiora leading the defense, the Giants had a scary team. They cruised through the regular season to finish with a record of 11-5. But in the wild card game, the Giants were walloped by the Carolina Panthers 23-0. In utter shock, all the Giants could do was look forward to being better next year. In 2006, the Giants roster only got better through signing three-time Pro Bowler LeVar Arrington and then drafting young stud Mathias Kiwanuka. But their play was inconsistent. They had spurts where they won 5 in a row and then proceeded to lose 4 in a row in the regular season. The Giants barely snuck into the playoffs and faced their division rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, in the wild card game. Manning started off the game with a beautiful pass to Plaxico Burress, and the Giants went up 10-0 early. But Philadelphia scored 17 points in the second quarter, led by quarterback Jeff Garcia and wide receiver Dante Stallworth. Down 20-10, the Giants seemed to have no chance, but Eli showed his greatness, leading a comeback to tie the game 20-20. In the end, though, the Eagles stormed down the field and David Akers hit a 38-yarder to hand the Giants their second straight wild card loss. After 2 straight agonizing losses in the playoffs, the New York Giants stock was at an all-time low. Tensions were high around the team as retired Tiki Barber had come out on national television and said that Eli Manning was a non-productive leader and that his leadership skills were comical. Not helping was that defensive captain Michael Strahan was holding out of camp. With all these distractions, most people didn't even expect the Giants to make the playoffs. But we know the outcome, so what happened? Much of the roster had stayed the same, but there were some key additions with Steve Smith and running back out of the draft, Ahmad Bradshaw. The difference in this team compared to the past, though, was the crazy development of nearly every single player. Eli Manning threw for over 3,000 yards, Brandon Jacobs had over 1,000 yards rushing, and Plaxico Burress had over 1,000 yards receiving. With this big three, the Giants' offense had potential, but the defense was legit too. Osi Umenyiora, Justin Tuck, and Michael Strahan combined for 32 sacks. Led by these players, the Giants were able to improve to a good but not great record of 10-6. But the playoffs were a different story. The Giants were finally able to overcome that wild card hurdle, easily defeating the Buccaneers led by quarterback Jeff Garcia and wide receiver Joey Galloway. The Giants won due to 2 huge Brandon Jacob touchdowns in the first and second quarter. Next, the Giants had to take on their division rival and America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, led by rising quarterback Tony Romo. The game was deadlocked nearly the entire way until Brandon Jacobs gave the Giants a 21-17 lead in the fourth quarter. Fun fact, this is where Brandon Jacobs infamously broke the play clock by throwing a football at it in celebration. Despite a late comeback from the Cowboys, the Giants' defense held strong with a late interception. Classic Tony Romo. Already largely exceeding expectations, no one even thought for a second that the Giants could beat the formidable Packers, led by Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre. Neither quarterback was fantastic in this game, and the score kept lobbying back and forth. Giants, Packers, Giants, Packers. In fact, it was so close that the game ended up going into overtime. The Packers had a chance to put away the pesky Giants, but Brett Favre had another one of his costly interceptions in Giants territory. All the Giants had to do was give Brandon Jacobs a few rushes and then watch Lawrence Tynes kick the game-winning field goal to send the Giants to their first Super Bowl since 1990.
But there was just one problem. They were going up against the GOAT, Tom Brady.
It was going to be a defensive battle, and the game started in the Giants' favor. Lawrence Tynes easily knocked in a chip shot 32-yarder to give the Giants a 3-0 lead. The Patriots then stormed back and took the lead 7-3 with a touchdown rush from Lawrence Mahoney.
Yeah, we don't really know who that is either.
The scoring stalled all the way up until the fourth quarter. Manning started off with a 5-yard score to David Tyree, and it looked like the Giants were going to win. But with 2:45 left, Tom Brady led another one of his infamous comebacks with a 6-yard score to old reliable Randy Moss. And the Giants were done. Or so everyone thought. Then, David Tyree did the impossible. One of the greatest catches of all time. By a helmet. And that led to the 13-yard touchdown by Plaxico Burress. And the Giants were Super Bowl champions. We'll let you watch this in awe. But would all of this have happened with Phillip Rivers? I'm not sure. But one thing for sure is that Giants fans should be thankful for Eli Manning and not have such a hatred for him as the Hall of Fame quarterback continues to decline.
If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on what our next video should be. This is J No Sports signing out. Thanks for watching.